Alright, welcome back to Steve Garage. So today I'm going to be changing my rear wheel bearings on this 1993 XR200R. So I'm going to go ahead and jack it up. This is my cheap Harbor Freight jack that I want to replace soon because it's dangerous. Alright, so a lot of the bolts on this bike are 15/16. Probably metric because it's not American.
There are two types of countries in this world. Ones who use the metric system, and ones who got to the moon first. Woo!
So this just happens to be the right size, but it'll take the axle bolt off, which is sweet. But it also takes off the valve cover inspection caps, which is great because it's kind of hard to get a socket on that one. So if you own one of these bikes, I paid like $12 at O'Reilly's for this. It's like a sweet tool to have. You can take care of this. It takes care of your rear axle bolt, which is pretty sweet if you want to put it in your trail bag. Because not a lot of, I mean, unless you want to get an adjustable wrench, but this doesn't weigh that much, so it's worth it. But I'm gonna pop this nut so that it is mostly loose. And then once you've done that, a bit more, you can push these spindles all the way to 0. Same thing over here. And this allows you to bring the wheel in nice and close, which can then disengage the chain, which is also toast along with my wheel bearings, but I'll deal with that later. Next is the brake. You just twist this guy till it's out. You actually sometimes can drop the drum without doing this, but once I get my wheel bearings in and I get my new chain on, I'm gonna have to reset this brake anyway, so worrying about its setting is kind of redundant. Pull the wheel pretty much straight back. Oh yeah, you gotta, these little guys, you gotta pop those off. They're, I guess, like reserves so that you can't do exactly what I'm trying to do. Second. Okay, pull the axle out a little bit, pop this clip off. Okay, so both of the little clips are off, that's off, our wing nut's out, back wheel will drop. It's kind of sweet because now it's got this hook here on the bottom, you can't quite see it, but it allows the wheel to sit here and just remain, which is pretty sweet because it makes working on it and balancing things really easy. Put this wing nut back on here. Also, this little guy here, I've lost one of these before. Probably a good idea to just take it out of there, thread it back on the piece there, put the wing nut back on. And that's all you need to remove the wheel. I'm gonna take the nut off all the way and take the brake off and all that stuff. Then we'll get down to the bearing. That there. And I'm gonna have to hammer that out. There's our brake caliper. Our axle shaft, okay. There's our spacer. All right. Once the covers off, you got this special Honda tool here with these tabs, and it will go into those holes. Get that in there. Boom. Gonna need to loosen that first. Now I'm gonna use that impact driver because I've had not the best luck with this in the past, so hopefully this little thing comes out. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's some power there. Might just need a wrench at that point. Well, that thing was already worth the investment because it just knocked this thing out like nothing. To the point where I'm worried I'm going to break it. And that seal is toast. I think let's just be pressed into this little housing. It smells nasty, so that's cool.
Do you smell it? That smell. A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
This is our bearing and seal kit from All Balls Racing. Nice. So right at the camera, yeah. Okay, so this is the nasty ass insert. Gross. Okay, now you hold this way.
Almost got me.
Oh my God. This is our first bearing. These have nice caps on them. Oh yeah, the smoothness difference is insane. I gotta go get the new tub of grease. And these bearings already appear to be packed pretty good. Don't really want to take the seals out. I think this is where they want to, how they want to be. They're sealed on both sides. Just gonna put a little bit of grease on the outside race, a little bit on the inside, and then once it started to go, it went. That's bottom. Alright, so use the old bearing if you don't have a good socket. Put it on top, beat the crap out of that bearing because it's going in the trash anyways. There's our first guy loaded in there. Spins nice and smooth. Flipping it over. I need to load this guy back in. Probably recommend cleaning it off with a wire wheel or just cleaning it up the best you can. Try to get any debris out of the center of it. And then throw some grease in it. And that's gonna drop down in. And then you need bearing, the second bearing. Same thing, it spins nice and good. Put a little bit of grease on it. And then This one protrudes pretty good, so I'm gonna try the rubber mallet first. And it's in. The best way to get this out, because it's a bit of a struggle, take a flathead, push it on the bottom, in between the two surfaces, between the seal and the thing, get it in there and just start twisting, and then go all the way around and just slide it right out. Struggle with that for about way too long until I tried that. Got one of the new seals here. It just kind of pushes, I mean, just using my fingers at the moment, pushing it right in. It's not super loose, but I mean, it goes in pretty easy. I don't really want to hit it with the mallet or anything. Maybe just a couple little taps. Okay, so that's our seal. Put just a little bit of grease on that, around the this part where it touches. I'm gonna flip this back over, and it's time to put the seal in. These threads are pretty fine, so definitely gonna want to be easy on those. Probably won't use the impacts at all. This is this is a 30-year-old bike. 1993, 2023. 30-year-old bike. So things are pretty, you know, corroded for the most part. I will say these had been done before. I have tried to take this cap off before, just kind of like briefly. I gave it a shot with a wrench. Did not want to come out. And that's why I hadn't done this project yet, was because of that. So I would say definitely try an impact. It literally just came right out. See, the old bearings are all gunked up, and they did not have seals on both sides, which is interesting because these new bearings did. They also gave me an extra seal here, which I'm not exactly sure where it would go, because there's nowhere on the right side, and there's a drum that goes on this side, so it kind of seals itself. But anyways, with this bike you can actually load your rear axle. I gotta re-grease that with new grease, but because it's an open rear end here, drop this in. All set up, so drop this in here. Make sure you got your spacer, your little retainer clip, which isn't required if you don't have those, your adjuster. Get it in most of the way. Don't bother with the nut on this side or anything, but you can bring it in here. Oh, and your you got to put your brake drum in place, and it'll just drop all the way in. All right, so I got it all back together. When I first tightened it down, it was a little bit resistance. There's a little bit of resistance, so I started the bike up and let it just run on the stand for 10 seconds, and then turn it off, and it's a lot better now. It spins pretty good. Like I said, my chain, you can hear it pretty loud there. It needs to be replaced. I have a new one coming in a couple days. All that noise is coming from forward, but it spins pretty good. It used to only spin about a turn or so. So that's done. Next is chain for this one. Got some new fenders for the sides. Gonna be doing new blinkers in the front, because that one's like falling off over there. New handlebars. I think these are the stock handlebars in this thing. So a couple things to do before the desert. Carburetor's good. Yeah, set up next to, this is my Hawk 250. They are very similar bikes. If you start looking at like the engine's very similar. Parts, same carburetor on both of them. You can pretty much see the resemblance. A lot of stuff is the exact same. This is probably one of the closest bikes I think to the Hawk 250 there is. aside from it's got disc brakes, almost same size gas tank actually, but the Hawk 250 just has 5 gears, this has 6, and that one weighs about 100 pounds more. So anyways, more stuff coming. I'm gonna do some maintenance videos for the Hawk 250. I know there's a lot more want for those, like how to do your valves, how to change out your carburetor, how to change your oil, anything like that. But also with the Honda, I've done a couple engine rebuilds on these in the past. This one was rebuilt by me, at least the top end, about probably 15 hours ago on the motor. So it probably won't need one, but I've owned quite a few of these, so they're fun projects. This one is my favorite, I think, just because it is plated. It's got some custom stuff here. It needs a little bit of help with the wiring, but it's got a different headlight on, or different front piece here for the headlights. Got a different tail light piece on here from a different year. Quite a few things. It's like I said, it's one of my favorites. I've also got, when I bought it, I got a whole bunch of extra parts. Drop this down. I have a whole extra engine out of a newer model year that needs rebuilding, so it was a cool deal. But yeah, any videos you want to see of how to do something on one of these, just let me know. Thanks for watching.